go okay. We have just shut the other stream down. We've just launched this one, so hopefully this is going to be fresh. The settings might be a bit lower here, but hopefully, if that's going to result in no disruption, then we'll just have to run with that tonight. Actually, we've done really well with lag recently. We haven't had any problems for a long time. So, of all the streams, for it to hit this maybe isn't the worst. Although I can see it's doing it again. It must be in the area. It really must be in the area. It just seems to keep coming in and dropping back out. So it does look like what happens. Just bad. It's just bad in the area. It's not something that I've got control over, unfortunately. It is actual lag. It is actual problem in the area, seemingly. It just seems to like dip out and come back again. So, I don't know. But I'm really grateful that didn't do it during the Rumble. As I said, hopefully it'll settle down at some point. But right now it does seem to be struggling a little. WrestleBuzz said it's looking all right on this end. Must be bad weather. Yeah, must be. As we said, we've managed to avoid lag really well. I mean, we did the Rumble. We've done like loads of streams recently. Boxing streams, Raws, SmackDowns, NXTs, AEWs. Just haven't had anything. I don't think we've had any problems this year, end of last year. So yeah, it must just be something up in the area. Well, I'll keep an eye on it, but I mean, I've dropped the quality. It seems to be holding a little better, but it does seem to have a little wobbles, little moments, but hopefully we should be able to get through. The stream was taken over by Top Dollar. Yeah. Daze, what did you think of the Rumble? Well, I do reviews. I mean, I did a review on the Rumble, but I mean, to be honest, there was so much that actually happened. I found that I was just talking more about what happened rather than actually reviewing it. So I thought the Rumble was about 7.5 overall, but that's because I love the Sammy moment. If you take the Sammy moment out, probably about 7, maybe even lower. I think the Pitch Black match looked really cool, but there wasn't really much to the match. The match was only 5 minutes long, but I thought it looked very impressive. I also thought that the Men's Rumble, I love Gunther. I'm a big Gunther fan, so him having the performance that he had and the spotlight that he had, I think that's very exciting for me as a fan to see him, being given such a showcase. He is now the person that has been in the Rumble longer than any man has in any other Rumble in history. There's been over 1,000 people that have entered Rumbles, and he is the person that's lasted longer than any of them. Like, that is such an amazing achievement. I love that they gave him that. I love it. So, love that Gunther got that. Really like that Cody won, but it was a bit predictable. But as I said, predictable, doesn't matter. It's the right thing to do. So, I don't have an issue with that. Surprises were a bit underwhelming. I think Edge coming back was fine. Logan, I didn't need. And Booker T, I don't mind Booker. The only thing I would say is he was on the kickoff show. So I feel like seeing him on the kickoff show feels like I've already seen him. So seeing him again in the Rumble was a bit like, oh, I would have liked someone else. Or give me someone else on the kickoff show and then give me like Booker in the Rumble. Like the first time that I saw Booker should have been in the Rumble, really. The only thing I would say is that if he wasn't on the kickoff show, that might have then started speculation of, oh, that's because he'll be in the Rumble. So maybe that's why they did it. But to be honest, it wasn't the biggest surprise in the world. Well, I don't think people were screaming their houses down when Booker T was making his way down. So I sort of feel like, the surprises could have been better. I think the women's was better than the men's because I love Asuka. Seeing her come back with the Kana-esque face paint, I thought was sick. So, yeah, I love that. I love Rhea winning. I think Rhea looked really good. I like the fact that there was some NXT people in there. I mean, great showcase for them. Zoe Stark looked really good in the Rumble. Nice that Indy Hartwell got that moment. Roxanne Perez got a few moments to shine as well. Natalya coming back. The thing with Natalya, I feel so sorry for her because she is an absolute guaranteed Hall of Famer. She's one of the best females WWE has ever had. She has just done so much. Like, she's been champion. She's been like tag champion. She has helped elevate women. She's done the Total Divas stuff. Like, whatever you needed her to do, solo, tag team, jobbing, whatever it was, she's been there and done it. Like, she's got the t-shirt. She is someone that has done it all. And she just doesn't really get the respect that she deserves. I feel like when she came walking down, like, people weren't like, oh, it's Natalya, you know? I feel like we've done her dirty too many times. I would love it if before the end of her career, WWE gave her like a really good run. Just a really good run where she was putting on like good matches and cutting decent promos and, like, you know, really being a problem around the top of the cards. Because I sort of feel like she deserves that. I think her time has been and gone. And to be honest, I think the focus now is on Bianca and Rhea and all of that. And I think that Natalya's place on the card is going to be putting others over. It just will mean that I don't think she's ever going to get that big pop, you know? And I feel so sorry for her. She deserves it, man. She's Heart Dungeon, Heart family trained, and, you know, the daughter of Jim the Anvil. And so I think there was moments during the Rumble that I really loved that maybe others weren't crazy about. I don't know. I really loved it. I like Natalya. Nat is the Dolph of the women's division. She is, yeah. She is the Dolph of the women's division, unfortunately. I think, I mean, I do feel a bit sorry for Dolph as well. I think that he has fallen into that role. I think, though, that I think Natalya, I feel a bit more sorry for Natalya. I think with Dolph, like, it's just going to be hard to be around the top of the card if you're a guy, because there's so much competition. I feel in the women's division, there's not as much competition. I feel like in the women's division, there's not as many legends. So it sort of feels that in the women's division, someone like Natalya should be viewed as more important than she's sort of viewed at the moment. Whereas Dolph, as we said, you know, there's just so many guys around. So many guys around that it's like, you can sort of understand eventually he would fall into that role. Whereas with Natalya, I'll tell you what, I'm disappointed she's not viewed as a Lita or a Trish. That's the truth. I wish she was viewed as one of those types of legends, but seemingly she isn't. But anyway, this is my point. There's things in the Rumble like Natalya coming back, which I really like Natalya, so that was a cool moment for me to see her back. Love the Asuka moment. I'm great down with seeing the NXT girls get an opportunity. I love Rhea winning it. So for me, like, I think the women's was better than the men's. And I thought that the bit at the end with Sammy was just incredible. Absolutely incredible. It's one of the best things I've seen. I would go as far as to say it's the best story WWE has ever told. The Sammy one in the Bloodline. That story from, like, Roman coming back, siding with Paul, Jey Uso being a bit reluctant to join, being forced to join up with Roman, Jimmy coming back, Jimmy not wanting to join, ending up joining, them as a bloodline, you know, just running riot over everyone. Then we've got Sammy coming in, and him not being accepted. And then, like, eventually he is, and he's made honorary use. And then you've got Solo joint. Like, that whole journey, that whole story has just been fantastic. I honestly would put it over Undertaker Kane. I really would. I know a lot of people would disagree with that. And I understand, because in retrospect, that story is so important. But I just love the Sammy one. Yeah, love it. Have you seen Scripps' entrance? I saw it on Level Up. It seems like they want to do something with him. Nope, not seen it. Dino said Roman versus Sammy, hair versus hair. I know it doesn't make any sense. I just want the old Sammy back, and also the possibility of Roman going bald. Your thumbnail is the toy room for your information. Well, this stream's just a right mess in it, so I'm not going to worry about it. I mean, it's it shouldn't be, because all I've done is I've just used the exact same setup as the last stream. So, do you know what? I've looked before as well as to how do I change the generic. How do I change the generic thumbnail? I've actually searched as to like how do I do that. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely cannot find it anywhere. I have no idea where to change that like generic standby thumbnail. I've got no idea at all. Let me see if I can just reload the usual thumbnail to see if that makes a difference. I appreciate you telling me about that. I didn't know that, but I'll just try and reload the other thumbnail and see if that makes any difference. In fact, I've loaded an older one by mistake that's got Mandy Rose on, but that would still be better than the toy room, wouldn't it? What do you think about Damian Priest Dawkins and Elias Montez? The Monday winners are in the Elimination Chamber, said Adam. I think that it's a way of getting Montez in and not Dawkins. I think I could see Damian Priest going in and I could see Montez going in. But if you gave Montez the opportunity and not Dawkins the opportunity, then it could be a case that people are like, oh, you know, they're trying to split him up, all this kind of stuff. And people will still say that. But Dawkins at least will get his opportunity to go in. It's just that I don't think he succeeds. I can see it being a way of them getting Montez in there and Dawkins just fall short to Damian Priest. And I think it's very interesting because it really does imply they are looking at Montez. And I think that he and Bianca have got a reality show. And so that might be why they're looking at him, because they might be looking at him thinking, well, he's got this reality show coming up. It'd be really good if we could start making some moves with him. And yeah, we might see more solo opportunities for Montez coming up. I was thinking earlier about what is the worst Shawn Michaels match, and I can't come up with an answer. Even when he oversold Hogan and Stomping Vader, he had me entertained. He is a legend, says Aubrey. What do you think about Damian Priest? Oh, I read that one. Do you think we could get El Generico to appear in WWE, said Just Nick. Hello, Just Nick. Hope you're well, buds. Maybe. I mean, there could be a moment where we get him as a bit of a, you know, Sammy is banned from a show and the next week El Generico is there instead. That would be a nice nod because, of course, if you know El Generico, then people will be like, oh my God, he's brought El Generico to WWE. Everyone would know it's Sammy. I mean, that costume, that, you know, attire doesn't really hide the fact that it's Sammy. But it would be very Mr. America. Do you know what I mean? Like Hogan. It would be very Andre Giant Machine. Like the fans are in on the joke. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's going to go that way, but there are definitely stories and things you could do to have El Generico come in for a little run. I don't think it'd be anything long term, but a little run. Very similar to like Hogan when he was Mr. America. Very similar to Andre when he was Giant Machine. Daze, why did Roman say they're at war and take no prisoners as it went off air? Well, they are, aren't they? They are at war. I mean, they're at war because Sammy now, someone that was inside their group, is now outside their group. And he's been viciously attacked. Sammy is going to be coming for the bloodline. Kevin has just been brutally beaten down. So he's going to be, you know, Kevin ain't going to go away. So Kevin's going to come for the bloodline. Sammy's going to come for the bloodline. They're a weakened bloodline because Jay's walked off. So all of a sudden now Roman's looking around. He's got Jimmy behind him. He's got Solo next to him. It's time to batten down the hatches. We're at war. There's a war coming. And it could be coming from a few different directions. I mean, right now you've got Sammy, Kevin, and Jay. And you've got Jimmy, Solo, and Roman. We could find ourselves in a situation where there's a 6-person tag. Maybe not this week, but on the road to WrestleMania at some point, we could find ourselves with Jay, Sammy, Kevin taking on Jimmy, Solo, Roman. I think I'd be surprised if we don't get that at some point. So I think Roman knows that trouble is brewing. So, yeah, time to batten down the hatches. Talking of Hogan, have you heard the news? I have, yeah. He can't feel his legs anymore, can he? Which is awful news. Dino said, I know Montez has more superstar in him than Dawkins, but I've been impressed with Dawkins. He's looking jacked and fun. It's a shame people just see Montez. Jude said, I would have loved to have seen a kid in the Elimination Chamber. David says, Rhea can see Beth winning. Charlotte SmackDown. We could get Rhea Beth. Rhea Beth for the SmackDown title. We could. Yeah. I mean, Rhea and Beth are obviously in a feud. They might get that wrapped up before WrestleMania. Like, she might deal with Beth before WrestleMania and then go on to face Charlotte. But equally, that could be put on hold, and then she might have to revisit after, and we could end up doing Beth getting a title match. If we do get that match, Beth won't win it. Rhea, I'm sure, would retain. But yeah, there's definitely options. Tree Trunker said, who do you think Bianca will face now that Rhea is facing Charlotte? Well, I must admit, the Rhea Charlotte thing caught me by surprise. If you'd have asked me what I was expecting or who I thought she'd pick, I honestly would have said I think she'll choose Bianca. Because I just think that was the match to make, to be honest. I mean, I know that you can do that match like any year. And who knows how long Charlotte's around for? I have no idea. So perhaps they're just thinking we can do Bianca Rhea in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. But is Charlotte going to be here in 4 years? Don't know. I don't know what her plans are. It really wouldn't surprise me if Charlotte had a bit of an idea, like, a couple more years and then I'm going to retire. I mean, she's made money. She ain't hurting for money. I don't know how long Charlotte's thinking of sticking around for. I mean, she's obviously with Andrade. Might be a case that she wants to spend a bit more time, like, family-wise. Maybe even start a family, She might want to go away, have kids. I really don't know. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But I was surprised. That now means that Bianca is free to face someone. It needs to be a heel. That'd be the first thing I'm going to say. So it needs to be a heel. So I certainly don't think it's going to be Liv. It could end up being... I don't know what we're doing with Asuka. I mean, if Asuka's going to be a heel, I think that would be very interesting. If Asuka is going to be a heel. I don't know that she is. Seemingly, she's about to start a little feud with Carmella. Seems to be something happening there. Could look at maybe Nia. If Nia is coming in. Trying to think what other heels are there on Raw. To be honest, with Rhea going to SmackDown, there's probably potential for a female to come over to Raw to replace, because I sort of feel like Rhea is going to have her attention set on Charlotte now. So that sort of means we need someone to come over and go after Bianca. So have a look at the heels, see what you think. Maybe a Nia. Do you know what? I genuinely cannot think of, like, female heels. Let's have a little look. WWE Raw roster. I mean, you've got Alexa at the moment. Whether that's going to be able to stretch out to WrestleMania, I genuinely don't know. Current Raw superstars. We've got Alexa, Asuka, Bailey. I feel like we've done the Bailey thing. Becky, Candice, no. Carmella, no. Dakota, no. Dana Brooke, she's not a heel. Io, no. Mia Yim's not a heel. Nikki Cross, Rhea Ripley, she's going over. Steph, Tamina. I mean, there is no one, is there? Maybe this is why they're looking at bringing Nia back, unless we're going to build up Dakota or Io, or unless we're going to just keep sticking with Alexa. Maybe we stick with Alexa and just go through with Alexa. Elimination Chamber winner will get a shot at WrestleMania, or is it for the championship? I've got the graphic, actually. Have a little look. I've got... It could be WrestleMania. Alexa's not in that at the moment, is she? Have a look. Resources. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go Raw. When was it? It was the 30th. Got the graphic. I've got... Oh, there it is. Winner faces Bianca at WrestleMania. So, wow, so far we've got Liv, Asuka, Raquel, and Nikki. I mean, I don't think it's going to be Liv or Raquel because they're faces. Asuka, I'm not sure. I think she's a face. I don't think it'll be her. Although I think it'd be cool if it was. Nikki, I just don't think she's big enough. I don't think we've built her up at all. And then you've got the two other women. So the two other spaces. I mean, it's going to be Piper, Michin, Candice, or Carmella. Oh, God, we just don't have many great options, do we? In all fairness. Call Naomi back up. Shayna would be good. Do you think now's the time for Roman to bring in his other cousin from different promotions? No, well, I mean, I don't think they can. I think from a legal point of view, they've not been interested in Jacob Fatu. So that's... I don't think it's been a case of they've been waiting for the right time. I think legally, whatever he was, done wrong in the past, I think that's the reason why we didn't have him. So I don't think that'll change. Do you think Jimmy could have a one-on-one match? They could do. I don't know that they will, but they could do. And I'd be totally down for Jimmy versus Jay at WrestleMania. I think that'd be really interesting. Really interesting. There's even a thought that you could do Sammy versus, this was Triple T. Wrestling Escape Pod this week is quite wrestling heavy talk, So that's on tomorrow. But basically, yeah, Triple T was saying you could do Jay and Sammy, and then you could do Jimmy and... No, you could do Jay and Kevin Owens, and you could do Jimmy and Solo as a tag match. Night 1, you could do Roman, Sammy. Night 2, you could do Roman, Cody. I'm like, that's pretty good. I'm just not a big fan of Sammy going after a tag belt, as I said. Frank said, I think Alexa will beat Bianca for the title at WrestleMania. It could be. It could be that they go that way. Why does it have to be a heel? Face versus face works. I don't think it works that well, to be honest. I think if you do face versus face, like you're splitting the crowds. So, like, for example, if you have Liv taking on Bianca, you're going to have half the crowd supporting Bianca. You're going to have half the crowd supporting Liv. That means if Liv wins the title, you're going to have half the crowd that's happy, half the crowd that's sad. I sort of feel like if you're a face and you're going to win the title, you want all of the crowds. You want that big pop. You want that big moment. So that's the problem with face versus face, is that you're splitting that crowd reaction. And I feel like that crowd reaction is really important. It's really important. So, I mean, it's not like we've never done face versus face. It's not like it would be the craziest thing in the world. I just think, from a booking point of view, your starting point is you would always want to do face versus heel. And so, but you could always turn Bianca, but I don't think they will. What do you think about Bron versus Roman? Rubbish. Bron just is, I mean, he's NXT champ, but he's nowhere near Roman's level. It would take so long. I mean, as soon as Bron comes up to the main roster, you've then got to spend quite a bit of time introducing him and building him. By the time we get Bron, Roman, by the time we've built up Bron to the point where he's seen as an actual threat to Roman, it's going to be probably 2024 SummerSlam at the earliest, I would imagine. I feel like you've got to bring him up. You've then got to get him in some feuds. He's got to look like a beast. It's going to take time. I mean, it took, Brock 6 months when he first came up out of nowhere to build him up. And that's one of the quickest we've ever seen, was 6 months. So I sort of feel like Bron, there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to do that with him and build him within that time. So I sort of feel that it's going to take a long time. So if rubbish to do it now, but if we're talking 2024 and you've put the work in of putting Bron onto the main roster and building him, yeah, I mean, it's a match that we could get eventually, and eventually it could be interesting, but right now it wouldn't mean anything. I mean, as we said, there's 2 point million that are watching SmackDown. There's 600,000 watching NXT. There's a lot of people that don't know Bron Breakker. Like, if you watch NXT, you are in the minority when it comes to WWE fans, because there's I can't remember what Big Time Baxter was saying, 2.1 million that watch Raw, 2.5 million that watch SmackDown, and then there's like 600,000 that watch NXT. There might be an awareness of him. There might be people might have seen him or heard his name or whatever, but to do that match now, it wouldn't do anything. You wouldn't do it at a premium live event. It would just be one of those where he would come onto SmackDown maybe, and it would, like, you'd just do it as a little, like, oh, we're going to do the NXT champ against, Roman as a bit of a, oh my God moment. But Roman would win it comfortably right now. But as I said, 2024, yeah, it'd be good by then. MJF will also be there by then, said Andrew Park. Gunther versus Sheamus. I want Bianca versus Tamina, said Judes. Breaker will have to go through Dolph first, said, so yeah. As I said, eventually, good, but it is just going to take time to build him up. Right, Dean Ambrose against Brock Lesnar, says A1. We've had that match, back in the day. It's pretty rubbish. It was Brock's fault, wasn't it? Someone said you need to turn Bianca heel. She'd be a better heel. I want to see a WrestleMania match between Mick Foley and Abyss. I think Abyss is done, isn't he? I think he's done. WWE should change Bron's name to Bron Steiner. Right. NXT. Right, so we've gone over to the show then. I don't know what we're going to be starting with. We're going to be starting with the Creed Brothers. So, Creed Brothers taking on Indus. They're coming out with Ivy Nile. It's a nice little moment, that was. They kind of been teasing that Ivy Nile might be moving away from the Creed Brothers. But it was a nice little moment where they were like, we really appreciate all the support and all that. So, I think they said there's going to be limited commercial interruptions. Creed Brothers in the ring then. Turn the Street Profits and Bianca, put them as a new Hurt Business with MVP and Bobby, said James. The Beach Kevin said, I hope after Roman loses the belts, he gets sent down to NXT. Bianca versus Titus O'Neil. Bianca versus Carmella. Could see that happening, says Davids. Have to build up Carmella a lot. That wouldn't be a match that would excite me personally. I honestly, I said it on Twitter and I'm still going to stand by it. I do wonder about Lacey. I wonder about Lacey because Lacey is someone that hasn't had loads of losses because, to be honest, we just haven't seen her in a long time. She's gone away. She's come back with a new gimmick. She's come back with this I don't care military choking out everyone with the Cobra Clutch gimmick. And I did say on Twitter that I could see them doing something with her and maybe it would be her against Charlotte. Well, we're not getting that now. But if we do transfer Lacey over to Raw, I actually think she wouldn't be the worst option for Bianca. It's very Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, I sort of feel like if you had Lacey going in there, destroying women, like not only beating them, but Cobra clutching them, choking them out. And she just doesn't care what the fans are saying. Doesn't care what the fans are saying. We constantly see her training and those training montages that she's doing, constantly ripping into the fans, constantly choking out women with the Cobra clutch, build up towards the Bianca and Lacey at WrestleMania. I'm not saying the match should be brilliant, and I'm fairly confident that Bianca would retain, but honestly, it's one of the better options I can see. I think there's probably a chance we continue with the Alexa story, though. But as we said, seemingly her challenge is going to come from the Chamber, and at the moment, Alexa's not involved. And Lacey's not involved, but Lacey, I would think, will probably be in that four-way on SmackDown then. If that's how they're deciding the final spot is a fatal four-way on SmackDown, then I think there's a good chance Lacey could be in that. Maybe a good chance she could win it as well. We'll have to see. Right, we are underway with Indus Sher against Creed Brothers. Both of these teams monstrous. And it's kind of crazy seeing Brutus in there with Sanger, and Brutus looking so small. Sanger charging over, Brutus moving out the way, big shots coming in. I don't know how easy it is going to be to wrestle in what Sanger's wrestling in. Tag, in comes Via. Via coming in, big shot there by Via. Against the ropes goes Brutus. Brutus goes down. Indus Sher, elbow drop by Indus Sher. Indus Sher taking no prisoners tonight. So, yeah, looking pretty good, actually. Looking pretty good. If Vince did return, surely Nick Khan, CEO, who would be opposed, ticket sales, fan interest ratings, merch, an all-time high. Now's not the time to undo or ruin the progress. I think Nick knows who's in charge. I don't even think he would be able to stop him, to be honest, because voting power and all of that is with Vince, isn't it? So, I don't know, like how Nick could stop it. I think the power is with Vince, and I think that Nick knows that Vince built this company. I think Nick is there to do what Vince needs him to do. If Triple H took over and all of this, I don't expect Nick to oppose it at all. Because I think that he is there to do, Vince brought him in, and I think he brought him in for one purpose, and that was to, help negotiate TV deals and all this, but long-term, sell the company. And so if Vince takes back over creative or whatever, I don't think Nick Khan's going to be kicking off, because, to be honest, Nick Khan isn't going to care about like the ratings and all this kind of stuff if the goal is to sell the company. Like that's what he's interested in. It's also why I don't think Vince is going to take over creative, because I think his focus is selling the company. He ain't bothered about like who's doing what, as long as the ratings are decent and good, and as long as things are all right, and they are, I really don't think Vince is bothered. I think he is way more focused on meetings and things that are happening that we're just not even privy to. We don't even see that stuff, Can't wait to see the Creeds on the main roster, said James. Will you do a watch long for WrestleMania 21? I don't know if we've already done one, to be honest. Can't remember. We may do one closer to WrestleMania. Over in the corner goes Julius. Julius is in at the moment. So Julius in the ring. Deanna said AEW or WWE, what is real? What is real? What is real? What is life? These are big questions. Big Time Back said, what do you think? Vince sees all the gleaming positives and he's like, I may not like some of the stuff he's doing, but it's working. I don't think he necessarily sees gleaming positives. I think what he sees is the numbers, the data. I think he looks at engagement, Google searches, ratings, number of views on Peacock. I don't know that he necessarily, not for 1 second do I think he looks at any comments on Twitter or YouTube videos. There's people that will do that for him, that I'm sure if he did want a report that had some of that info, he could get it. I don't think he's looking at that. The numbers tell him what he needs to see. So merch sales, ratings, Google searches, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think he just looks at that. And I think he's got he's been doing this since the early 80s. He's got an idea as to where the numbers have been. He can instantly look at these numbers and know if they're good or bad. He can, because of his experience, and he's been doing it year after year after year, and he knows the decline in TV, and he's had all these meetings with TV executives, and he knows what the expectations are. I think the numbers came in that Rumble, they said, didn't they, was 52% more people viewed the Rumble this year than last year. I mean, that speaks for itself, doesn't it? 52% more people watched this Rumble than the Rumble last year. So, like, that's the stuff that Vince will be looking at. And yeah, I think if the numbers were bad and things were declining and things were not in a good place, I think he would feel a need to take over the reins because he wants this sale. So if the numbers were bad, I think he would be looking at it going, I've got it. I've got no choice. It's not working. I've got to. We need decent ratings. But because Triple H is getting those decent ratings right now, yeah. I think this is why he is just not going to be coming back to creative. I think there's a notion amongst wrestling fans that Vince wants to be in control of creative, and I don't get the feeling that's true. I think that he's done it and he's been very hands-on, but I feel that now that he's been gone out of creative for a while, and bigger than that, the fact that he is looking to sell the company, I think, look, if the sale doesn't happen, then you can start panicking, because then what's he going to do? Right now, he's got stuff to keep him busy, hasn't he? Right now, he's in meetings. He's coming up with strategies. He's trying to figure out what the right way forward is, like who's, the offers that are on the table, meeting up with different potential buyers, all this kind of stuff. He's keeping himself busy with that. Not too far into the future, the TV deals will be sorted, and a potential sale will probably be dead in the water if it hasn't gone through. What does Vince do then? That's when I think you can panic, because then, if the waters are all calm, no TV deals to be negotiated, and no sale on the horizon, what does Vince do then? He ain't going to just kick around Titan Towers. This is where then I could see him starting to pop to TV and, right, what are we doing, and getting a bit more involved. I think until, we get to that point, I don't think there's a need to worry. I wouldn't be surprised if he gave pointers. I really don't. I'm not surprised if he is watching the product, aware of what's happening, and giving feedback points. But actually being there and booking certain segments, I just don't think that's his focus. Viking Raiders need to be pushed to NXT and restart all over again, said Chrissy Rod. My man Solo destroys everybody. Kick out. This is clunky, says Leo. Down. Julius flipping over is in the corner right now. We've got Jinder grabbing a hold. So Jinder's like the manager on the outsides. Ivy Nile having a go at Jinder. There's a Ivy chance. Against the ropes goes Julius. Clothesline. Ivy goes off. Wow. Ivy knocked to the outsides. Oh, big clothesline by Veer. This should result in the beginning of the ends. Ivy Nile knocked to the outside of the ring. Julius up, planted down. Indus Sher. 1, 2, 3. And Indus Sher get the win. What's the fallout of this going to be? Ivy Nile down. Indus Sher get the win. Jinder on the edge of the ring, providing a slight distraction. Wrestle with Andy, hello. What's the wrestling event you watch the most? I would say Survivor Series 90 or Royal Rumble 94. Those are the first 2 videos I had. That's a great question. What wrestling event have I watched the most? That's a great question. I think it would probably be... It's a great question, that is. Oh, here's I'm gonna think about it. Here's Axiom and Tyler Bates. They're watching some NXT UK on a laptop. Great to see Tyler Bates. You remind me of someone. You remind me of A-Kid. Where's Roderick Strong? Injured, says James. Okay. Now we've got... Oh, I haven't seen Kemp in a hot minute. Damon Kemp has arrived. So we've got Axiom, we've got Tyler Bate, we've got Damon Kemp. You lime is a soft. We are, in all fairness. Quite cuddly. And he has a pop at European wrestling as well. When I search up Wrestling Daze, I can't see one, said Mr. Dell. Maybe we haven't done one then. Perhaps that's one we haven't done. There's definitely a few we've yet to do. Right, we are moving on then. We have got Zoe Stark. Fresh of her appearance in the Royal Rumble. Zoe Stark making her way down to the ring. So Zoe Stark coming down to the ring. Don't actually know who she's facing. Good, decent little showing in the Rumble. Zoe Stark adds. Decent showing. Show that I've watched the most. I'm going to say Rumble 92. I think I've revisited that quite a few times because it was one of the first tapes I got. Who doesn't love the Rumble? So, you know, I would always try and get Rumble tapes. But, yeah, probably Rumble 92. Because that is one that was the best Rumble of the early Rumbles. And to be honest, I never got videotapes of the later ones. I think as I got older, I stopped sort of getting videotapes. I stopped going car boots, first of all. I didn't go to car boots anymore. And so I didn't pick up videotapes of like the, I don't know, like 96, 97. I reckon I had videotapes up to about 95. But like 96, 97, 98, I didn't get any of those. And as you said, you know, without the network and without the internet, there was no like revisiting things. So yeah, I'll go say Rumble 92. We're just seeing earlier today, Indy Hartwell and Zoe Stark just having a few words. So Zoe Stark's made her way down to the ring. Indy Hartwell is seemingly going to be her opponent. Does it mean Zoe Stark could be moved up in the next few months as she was in the Rumble? No. Doesn't necessarily mean that. Because I think we've seen people in the Rumble, NXT people in the Rumble before. Rumble is not really indicative of a call-up. It's just a showcase for like NXT stars. So, I mean, what I would say is they clearly see something in them. I mean, you wouldn't really be in the Rumble if they didn't think you had potential to go to the main roster, so it's great. But it doesn't necessarily mean that she's like going to get called up this side of WrestleMania. Could she be called up like after WrestleMania? No. I think her being in the Rumble means that they've definitely got an eye on her. Let's put it that way. It really depends what is Fox and USA Network offering as far as rights increase. The stock hitting highs depends on whether WWE gets sold or makes huge money in TV rights if there's no sale. Hawkins said, I tweeted you a picture after Raw went off air. You'll love it. Is it the banana one? Was it Cody in the banana hat? I did see that. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun. That's such a baby face thing to do, isn't it? To pop that on. That was cool. But Chris Benoit's dub is the best Rumble, but 99 is the best overall with Rock, Mankind, Stone Cold, Vince, the entire Hell Dominated Attitude era cards. Right, we've got Zoe in the ring. Indy going for the cover. 2, shoulder up by Zoe. I got wrestling information from Wrestling Magazines. Is that what you say? If anyone's ready for the main roster, it's Roxanne, said Just Nick. Roxanne. Right, well, we are underway. We are underway with Indy and Zoe. Zoe grabbing Indy. Snapmare going over. A little bit of lag again. We've been lagging, haven't we? We've been lagging pretty bad tonight. Does come and go, though. It just comes in like horrible spells. TJB, shout out to you. Did you talk about Rico saying he didn't want to be at this... The Rock saying he didn't want to be at this year's WrestleMania, but next year? No. We haven't really specifically spoken about anything to do with The Rock. I can see 3 superstars will go to the main roster after WrestleMania. I could see Zoe, Indy. I could see them going, says Davids. I think Chase, you should adopt the banana hats, said Smurfy. I can see Gray now when I type my name. That's cool. I did see that. I mean, I whenever I read the chat, I read the one that's on the screen. So I must admit, like after Raw last night, I saw loads of different colors. I was like, what the hell's this? I don't know what that is. It's some kind of change on YouTube. I don't know what it means. Indy with a side slam there on Zoe. Shoulder up. Indy giving a thumbs up to the crowds. Picking up Zoe Stark, throwing her to the outside. Crowds, a little bit quiet for this, considering this is 2 pretty big names going up against each other. Zoe on the outside goes over the top. Crashes down. 1, 2, and kick out by Indy. College wrestling, who's better, Dan Gable or Cal Sanderson? I can't say, to be honest, because we don't get it here in the UK. Or at least I've never seen it on TV. So college wrestling is not something I've ever been able to watch. But I do try to have a look, see who gets like the Dan Hodge trophy. And try to like keep in a little bit. Just because you do sometimes see some wrestlers coming from out of there. There's also, we watched the Olympics. Obviously, I watch the Olympics every time it's on, but we did the streams. So it's sort of interesting looking at some of the American wrestlers that come out of that collegiate wrestling. But my knowledge of amateur wrestling is not going to be good enough to give you an answer on that. How big will the Raw after Mania be? Big. Hopefully the biggest we've had in the past few years, because during the pandemic, obviously, we couldn't do anything. And then I must admit, I was really disappointed with last year. I thought last year's Raw after WrestleMania just did not capture the same magic. I think the crowd were all right, but they just had nothing to get their teeth into. Hopefully Triple H can book a banging Raw after WrestleMania where we get call-ups, surprises, turns, title changes. Like, you know, it's sort of like the third night of WrestleMania. But I want to see Indy tag with Rhea. They could be the Kangaroo Connection. Kick out by Zoe. Kick out by Zoe. Are you doing UFC? Interesting times for UFC, says Davids. Really don't know, to be honest. My focus for this weekend is NXT. As to how the timings work out, I haven't looked yet, to be honest. So my focus for this weekend is definitely NXT. UFC, yeah, it's interesting times, but I sort of feel like the really interesting times are all happening at the pay-per-views rather than on the fight nights at the moment. But yeah, there's a chance that we might get around to doing both. But I can't say for certain yet. Daze, if we don't get Roman Rock, how would you feel about Roman J night 1 and Roman Cody night 2 if Roman doesn't lose the title? I'd be a little disappointed. I sort of feel that Sammy needs to be in that conversation. I think that Jay, if he is going to stay as a solo star, could, you know, get somewhere. I think long term, he would be a mid-carder. But 1, 2, lovely work there by Zoe. Flips Indy Hartwell over, knees are in the face, gets the victory. It's a win for Zoe Stark. Yeah, the two hottest stars at the moment are Sammy, aren't they? Sammy and Cody. I think to go with Jay, I don't know that you're going to be able to build Jay up big enough for a WrestleMania main event. Not when you've got Sammy right there. Do you know what I mean? I think for WrestleMania, I think I'd do Jimmy versus Jay personally. I think that could be very interesting. Right, we've got Sol Ruka coming down, chasing Zoe Stark out of the ring. So Sol Ruka saving Indy Hartwell. Chasing Zoe Stark out of the ring. Zoe Stark on the outside. Sol Ruka shaking her head. Not on my watch. Here is the schism. 4 roots. 1 tree. Terrifying. Got their sights set on those NXT Tag Team Championships currently being held by the New Day. If I look at Schism, all I see is The Rock's daughter. That's it. That's all I see. I don't see anything else. I don't even see Joe Gacy anymore. I used to really be interested in Joe Gacy. This group just does nothing for him for me. But I think we all know that The Rock's daughter's going to go on to do big things. There's no way they're going to mess up The Rock's daughter. Chase U. They're just talking about their opponents. Did you see Sammy's new Instagram post? No, I didn't. What's Sammy said on Instagram? I saw he's got a new shirt. Sammy. What's he said? Hey? Sami Zayn. Oh. No. Right, there's Wesley. There we go. That's Sammy. Sammy's message. He's got that site. It's a nice picture, actually. Look at that. Fully signed by the Bloodline. I mean, in all fairness, this isn't going to do great things for the sales of these items on WWE Shop. But there we go. Sammy throwing out all the Bloodline stuff. I don't think that's going to be a great surprise, is it? Turns out Sammy is no longer in the Bloodline, guys. Shock. Oh, there we go. Bum, bum, bum. I expect The Rock's daughter to look ripped, but she doesn't, said Leo. NXT is really pushing Sol Ruka very early in her WWE Pro Wrestling career. To be honest, I don't think they were, or I don't know if they had plans to push her as much as they are, but she got super over with that move, whatever it's called, her finishing move. That went everywhere. And so since then, they've really started to move a bit more on her. She did that move on, I think it was NXT Level Up. So, yeah, I sort of feel that we're starting to see some stuff out of her now. They're getting behind her. Kyle said Jay and Jimmy could eventually side with Sammy and become the Moose-O's. Sammy is Canadian, and there's lots of moose in Canada, and it rhymes with Uso, said Kyle. Shouldn't that stuff be in the bag, said Dark. That's a really good point, actually. That's a really good point. Part of me thinks that he's making a statement here, but actually he's going to take all of that stuff back into the house. Because it's all he's not ripped it or trashed it, has he? He's not done anything. He's not in anger, put his foot through it or broken it and ripped it up. All this stuff is staying in it. That's going straight back in the house. He's put this picture out there to show how sad he is and how it's over. And then all of that's going right back in. It's all still wrapped up. Look, going right back in the house. When Simone eventually goes to the main roster, is she going to drop the spooky persona and be Simone Johnson or a different name? Probably be a different name. Just because they don't really like wrestlers to have their own names if they can avoid it. So they've given her the name of Ava Rain. I think I can see them sticking with that, to be honest. And will she drop the spooky stuff? Maybe. Maybe. It depends what their plans are for... I don't think she'll do this gimmick forever. I think this is just a way of introducing her, really, getting her on TV. It certainly makes sense putting her as part of a group. That way she doesn't have to talk all the time, and the spotlight's not totally on her. She can go out there, just get comfortable with being in front of a crowd, cutting some promos, being in front of the cameras, working on her timings, so on, so on, So... We're so early in her career that I don't think there's any way that she'll still be doing this in the future. But we might stick with the Ava Rain name. Who knows? But if Vince doesn't take over by Raw after Mania, do we give up worrying? I'm not worried anyway, buds. I'm not worried anyway. As far as the draft goes, do you keep Sammy and Cody on separate shows? Yes, definitely. 100%. 100%, because they're both so over. You really don't want to be putting both of them on the same brand. They're too hot. Yeah, 100%. I think you keep it as it is. You keep Cody on Raw. You keep Sammy on SmackDown. I don't see any reason to change that. I mean, I think you need to have Sammy around the Usos and Solo and all of that. Like, you need to keep him around that. And Cody, you don't really need him involved in all of that at the moment, because really he doesn't need to get involved in that story. We're so far away from WrestleMania that Cody just needs to keep himself busy for a bit. In fact, you could even put Cody in a little feud with someone and just have him do a little feud in the short time. Just something, that just kills a bit of TV time, kills a few segments. Because, to be honest, between now and Elimination Chamber, it's going to be all Sammy and Roman and Bloodline and all of that. Trying to put Cody into that is going to be too messy. So, yeah, I'd keep them apart, definitely. Eric, shout out to you. Eric, Defcon Prime, and Jack Pop Culture Power Hour said, did you see what happened to DC comic movies today? What happened to DC comic movies? We've got Apollo. And he's just previewing his forthcoming match with Carmelo. DC movies. What happened to DC movies? DC is going to debut a new Batman and Supergirl and Green Lantern TV show. Don't really care. Don't really care about any of them. I'm only interested in Batman if it's going to be Batman from Dark Knight or a Batman that fits in with the Joker film. That's the only stuff I like. I've never seen Batman versus Superman. I've never even seen that film. I didn't even see The Batman with Robert Pattinson. I don't even know if that fits into so many different Batman stuff. I really love the Dark Knight trilogy. Love the Dark Knight trilogy, and I love the Joker film. They're the original Batman movies. They were all right when I was young. I enjoyed them when I was young. I don't know that I would necessarily go back to them now. I might watch the first one again. The Batman was it Forever with Jim Carrey and all of that. Even when I was young, that didn't look very good to me. But I might go back to the first Batman one. But yeah, if it fits in with the Joker film, which I really enjoyed, that would be good. Right, we've had half an hour of this show. It's been okay. As we said, it is a go home. So we just had Apollo chatting away, doing a bit of a promo. Now we've got Wesley in the ring. So Wesley just cutting a promo at the moment. Meltzer said if Vince is gone, he needs to come out and say he's not going to return to creative. Cody versus Balor last night was Cody's first one-on-one match since Hell in a Cell, said Adam. Joker movie is standalone. It doesn't fit in anywhere. They are doing a second one, though, aren't they? I think they are doing a second one. That's a shame that it doesn't fit in with any of like the Batman stuff, because I really feel like, I mean, I haven't seen the Marvel films, but my understanding is that the Marvel films do fit together because obviously the Avengers come together, and so if you want to watch their individual stories, you can watch Thor, you can watch Iron Man, you can watch, you know, whoever. So you can watch their individual films. I think DC are missing a big trick there by not having the Batman films all connecting. We just seem to kind of like be restarting it all the time. Know what I mean? Like, rather than exploring some of those Batman stories and like expanding the universe and introducing new interesting characters and everything, I just feel like we're always, I don't know what we're doing. Starting again. I don't know. As I said, like, I understand Batman versus Superman was different, but it's got a different actor and it feels different, and the reviews are awful. So I sort of feel like I just wish that they'd carried on the Dark Knight. I just wish they'd carried that on and then like told more stories and then introduced the Joker, and the Joker could fit into that universe. I understand that, you know, fucking Phoenix passed away, but you know, it'd be good if there was a way of like just carrying on really with that story and expanding that universe. So I don't know what this Batman movie is. I don't know what this follows on from. I've probably got to watch another film to understand this one. And if the first film wasn't rated that well, then do I even want to go back and watch it? You see, I'm someone that could watch Batman, but because of it being as messy as what it is, it doesn't get me hyped for a new film, and that's a real shame. I really like Batman. Of all the superheroes, he's probably my favorite. In fact, he's definitely my favorite. Right now, we got Dyad and Wesley in the ring. Just exchanging a few verbals. Dyad looks pretty cool. Does look pretty cool. Just sure about Wesley. Fun fact, Joker's real name has never been released, so we don't know his actual name. That is a fun fact. Barry Joker, that's his real name. Just Joker for short. Barry Joker, good old Barry Joker. Deanna, shout out to you. In your opinion, what do WWE need to do to make their tag division better? Better teams. Better teams need to be showcased more. Needs like banging matches. Need proper good matches. Like the tag division needs to feel important. The titles need to feel important. Need to have interesting stories in that division as well. It always feels like, say, Roman and Sammy get the spotlight and Bray gets a chance to tell a story. What do we do with the tag division? What stories have we told in the tag division? We haven't done anything. You've even got like the Viking Raiders, who are prime for some sort of story, what with them being Vikings and Valhalla coming in. But apart from like some sneak attacks, what do we do with them? We just don't do anything. So we need some stories. We need some gripping, compelling stories. They need to have some time. You need to build up that division. There needs to be more than just a handful of teams. You know, I feel like there's a handful of teams. There's a fair few teams, but there's only a handful of teams that really matter. I just feel like it's just not a very deep division. Yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky because if it's going to get anywhere, you've got to invest in it. And it's tricky to do that because someone else is going to suffer as a result. Okay, we've got Von Wagner in the ring. We've got Wesley in the ring. We've got Dyad in the ring. The tag division is telling the Usos ruled them all, said Austin. Did the deadline day 2 days mean in football? Did the deadline date? I don't remember. Viking Raiders should beat Usos. I'm bored with Usos, said John. Poor Sammy. Joker's real name is Rick Boogs. Dyad goes to hit Wesley. He ends up striking Von. Now we've got Von and Dyad going at it. Dyad goes to the outsides. So Von Wagner and Dyad. So Dyad on the outside of the ring. Taking off his jacket. Wants to get his hands on Von Wagner. Vince will be loving this if he is watching NXT, but I very much doubt he is. Dyad getting into the ring, charging over, and we're underway. Von Wagner and Dyad. Two big boys, two big beefy boys going at it. Down goes Dyad. As we said, this is a go home Vengeance Day this weekend. Nice little throw there by Von Wagner. Last Batman fact, Alfred once dressed as the Batman and almost destroyed the Joker. See that? Give me these stories. Give me these stories. There must be so many stories. I mean, I don't know when Batman started, but I feel like there must be so many Batman stories. Yeah. I just don't feel like we really tell that many. I don't feel like we've done a very good job of bringing in like lots of enemies of his, you know, like I know Penguin. I know, I mean, I feel like we could do with a credible Mr. Freeze. But we've seen Penguin a few times. Obviously, Joker's the main one. And Bane. We did get to see Bane. But I'm sure there must be more. I mean, I've never read the comics, so I don't know, but I'm sure there must be. But yeah, I do like, I love Batman. What about Sheamus winning the title from Gunther, and he beats Cody Raw after Mania for the title? What about Sheamus winning the title from Gunther and he beats Cody Raw after Mania? What about Sheamus winning the title? Oh, what? Gunther beats Cody the Raw after Mania. I don't know, to be honest. I don't know that is Gunther ready for that? I sort of feel like Gunther, I wouldn't do that. I think Gunther is someone that we need to build because he hasn't really got much in the way of star power at the moment. We just need to keep building him. I mean, he's actually not been on the roster all that long. It's just that when he did get to the roster, he found his way to the Intercontinental belt quite quickly, and he's held that belt for quite a while. But I still feel like we're in like the early stages, really, with Gunther on the main roster. So I wouldn't do that just because I think you constantly need main events and you constantly need big matches. I would just keep building Gunther. And then I would have like Cody defending his belt successfully. And then if you really want to do Cody Gunther, then you can have Gunther's music hit. And then it would be a, oh my God type moment, you know? Oh my God. I feel like you would get a reaction similar to that amongst like, you know, some hardcores and whatever now. And certainly what happened at the Rumble is, you know, obviously put him on more people's radar. But I think like I would be more inclined to just keep building him, build him, give him wins, big win at WrestleMania, keep building him. And then like we'll get to the point where he is a bit Andre the Giant-esque in the sense of hasn't been defeated, Intercontinental champion for, you know, X amount of time. I don't know, maybe he does, maybe he like forfeits the belt or loses the belt in like a multi-person match, something that like protects him so it wasn't a 1, 2, 3, and just really build him. And then like, you know, you've got Cody who's overcome a few challenges, and then, oh my God, here's Gunther. And then that would be huge. Do you know what I mean? Like Cody Gunther, SummerSlam or whatever it might be. Not maybe this year, but again, you know, look into the future. Maybe you do WrestleMania 40, I'm not sure. But just keep building. I think to have him just come out and beat like Cody the night after WrestleMania, I feel like you're probably throwing away like a really big opportunity by doing that. Because I think like, yeah, you can build up the rematch, but I think just keep building Gunther as this monster heel. I like the match. But I think No, I think if Cody gets there, I really like the idea of some of Theory cashing in on Cody. I loved that idea. I would have done that. I would have done that, definitely. I would have had Cody cashed in on at WrestleMania. But because we can't do that now, I think I'd just leave the belt on him for a bit. That's what I would do now. Bolt versus Roman versus Braun versus Moss versus Bobby versus... do you agree the titles need to be split? How do you do it? Yeah, I would split them. And how would I do it? I don't know how I'd do it now. I mean, doing it in the Rumble was a good idea. I think doing it in the Rumble was good. I think any way that really protects Roman. Because I think when Roman does lose the Universal, that's the one that should really, really come through. So I think Roman, you need to find a way of it being a multi-person match, and Roman maybe doesn't get pinned, but someone else gets pinned, and Roman loses the title, but he didn't get pinned or submitted for it. Like I would go along those lines, or something, anything like a ladder match where someone gets the belt, but again, they've won it, not necessarily Roman's lost it. I would do that. This is why the Rumble would have been a good idea, because you could have had Roman defend the WWE title in that, and then the winner of the Rumble, which I think wouldn't have been Cody. Would have been someone else, and then Cody, wins the Chamber, and then you could have done, say, Seth wins the Rumble, Seth becomes champion, Cody wins the Chamber, you do Seth Cody at WrestleMania. That way, the title is off Roman, but he didn't actually lose the title. So you could have gone down those roads, but can't do that now. So, I mean, at the moment, seemingly, we are heading to a point where Roman's going to defend both against Cody. And do you know what? It'll be really interesting, kick out by Von Wagner. We're still underway with this match, by the way. But it'll be really, really interesting to see what Cody does with the belts. It'll be really interesting to see what Cody does with the belts. Because, Cody is going to... When he was Intercontinental Champion, he brought back the classic IC belt. He brought that back. If he wins these belts, I don't know what he does. I don't know if he changed the belt design. He could do. I still think there'll be a large WWE logo in the center. I still think that will feature, but it might not have to be just a WWE logo. He might say that he's going to be a fighting champion and he can't defend both, so he's going to surrender one. He could absolutely say that. And they could use this as a way of crowning another champion and having a tournament or something. I feel like if he wins both belts, I would be surprised if he carried both and defended both as they are. I feel like he's either going to change the belt design or just have one belt, or he'll surrender one, actually. Dijak down. Big moment there by Von Wagner. Oh, shoulder up by Dijak. That was pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. Crowd on their feet on that one. The crowd impressed with that. Von Wagner with Dijak. He's trying to pick him up. Dijak lands on his feet. He's managed to get round the back of Von Wagner. That's a nice submission hold. It's a nice submission hold. He's got the sleeper, round the head. He's got the arm behind the back. Shots coming in by Von. Dijak trying to get him to submit. Von's not too far away from the ropes. Desperately trying to break it, though. He's trying to get over. He's starting to fade. He gets picked up, put on the shoulders. Dijak in the center of the ring, over the top. And, a little bit botchy that was. Bit botchy. He tried to do a GTS type move. His knee didn't really connect. But he still ends up picking up the victory. But, yeah, not a bad little end to that. Wesley was watching the action unfold. I don't think there's a great surprise that Dijak has picked up the win there, because, of course, Dijak and Wesley are going to be facing off against each other at Vengeance Day. So it would have been a bit weird if Von had picked up the victory here. But Dijak picking up the win. And so he goes into Vengeance Day with momentum. Yay! Momentum. 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 How you doing, Austin? I hope you're well, mate. Austin said, how would you feel if Sammy took the title at Elimination Chamber. I'd love it. Lost it to Finn 2 months later. That would make me sad. And then we get Cody Finn at WrestleMania. Or would it be bad to have someone who beat Roman lose the title so fast? No, the only thing I would say is I would be interested to know. I don't hate that, to be honest. I don't hate that. I think you've got like the Sammy moment. And it'd be amazing to see him get to the top. Then to see him lose it to Finn, that would put a lot of heat on Finn. A lot of heat on Finn. And then, you know, Cody comes in and gets the belt. Brilliant. So, a lot to fit in, to be honest. But logical. Makes sense. My only thing I would say is I don't know how the fans would be with Sammy. So Sammy would get there. Everyone would be satisfied. Yeah, he's done it. Reached the mountaintop. Then he loses the title. Don't know what we do with him at WrestleMania. So I don't know what we would do then. And I don't know quite how the fans would be with... I don't know. I don't think, like, if the fans feel that Sammy has been cheated... They might still be chanting for Sammy. Like, it might actually, you know, like how Daniel Bryan, when he lost in, like, what was it, 18 seconds or whatever, the fans got behind him. And that really took him to another level. If you put the belt on Sammy and then he loses it quite quickly to Finn, the fans might be like, this is BS. Do you know what I mean? And that might actually get them behind him even more. So that would be my only concern. Would be how would the fans react to that? They'd obviously be disappointed. You would want them to be. Yeah, I don't mind it though, because it does it. I love the fact that Sammy actually does it and achieves it. You'd have to make it clear that it was only for the WWE though. How would he have both? What do you do with Roman then? You see, if Roman was facing The Rock, then you could do that. But would you have Roman lose so close to WrestleMania? It's tricky, isn't it? It's tricky. It's a bit messier, but it does tick some boxes. We're just seeing Nikita Lyons and all the people that were around. We got Wendy Chu in a car and Valentina Ferraz, all the people that might potentially have attacked her. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Lots of different ways that you could take it. I actually don't know what my what I do know is I want Sammy to be champion. I do want him to be champion. I think it was, I can't remember who it was that asked the question. I think it was Mitchell who said, "Is it a case that if Sammy doesn't win the title, it's going to be a bit disappointing?" I actually think it is, unless he beats Roman, who is the top guy in the bloodline that's kind of caused him all these problems. Unless he actually beats Roman, and ideally for the title, I think that anything else, like, you know, if he beats Solo, okay, great, but it's not going to satisfy unless he beats Roman. If he beats Jimmy Uso, it's not going to satisfy unless he beats Roman. Like, he's got to face Roman. He's got to beat Roman. And everything at the moment is pointing towards Sammy losing to Roman at Elimination Chamber. So if he does lose to Roman at Elimination Chamber, when do we get the satisfying conclusion to this story? And this is what I keep coming back to. If the satisfying conclusion is meant to be Sammy winning the tag belts, that ain't going to cut it for me. That ain't going to cut it for me, because them tag belts, as I said, they don't mean anything. They don't mean anything at all. Like, I'm still, like, lovely story, great. I ain't got a problem with the story. Jay turns on Sammy at Elimination Chamber. We get Kevin and Sammy going up against the Usos for the tag titles. Lovely. But I will still be going, okay, great. Nice story. We found something for him to do at WrestleMania. He's won some belts. Lovely. When's he going after Roman? When's the match with Roman? Because he needs revenge on Roman, yeah? Everything we just saw, he's got to have revenge on Roman, yeah? Like, to me, like, it will. He does need that. So, I don't know how you'd go about doing it. I don't know if we space it out a little bit more than trying to do it all before WrestleMania. Like, maybe what we do now is we just focus on Cody. So right now we do the match with Sammy at Elimination Chamber. He wins the tag titles at WrestleMania. But what we do is we hopefully somehow keep the crowd on Sammy's side. If the crowd stay with Sammy and the crowd demand that Sammy get another shot at the title, do you know what I mean? If we as fans can keep that enthusiasm going, you know, Sammy Uso chants or whatever, Sami Zayn chants, whatever the crowd are going to chant. Be interesting if they do chant Sammy Uso, actually. Because he obviously is done with the bloodline, so I don't know why we would be chanting Sammy Uso, but that's what people have been chanting. But either way, it was just Sammy. But either way, if we can keep that support behind him, maybe we can, you know, once again do what we did with Daniel Bryan and get him to the title. I mean, like, if you think about, like, Kofi Mania, and you think about... I know that, obviously, there was more to it with Kofi Mania. If there was definitely race involved with Kofi Mania. That showed itself with, like, the video of MVP, like, you know, tearing up as he was watching Kofi achieve, you know, what he achieved. Obviously, we don't have that at play here. But with Daniel Bryan, you know, we had that kind of groundswell of support. Kofi Mania, he had that groundswell of support. I do understand that's a little different, but similar sort of thing. And yeah, I sort of feel like we might have to just say, okay, this period is Cody's. Cody's going to win at Mania. What about SummerSlam? What about as we head further into the year? Can we do something for Sammy? So I just think it'd be so disappointing if the end result of all of this is at WrestleMania, he and Kevin win the tag belts. I just don't see great feuds for them. I mean, all right, they'll be in a feud with the Usos. Brilliant. Great. Seriously. But then after that, what are they going to do? Viking Raiders. Who cares? I don't care. Do you care? Do you care about Sammy and Kevin against Viking Raiders? Care if they take on Street Profits, Hit Row, Maximum Male Models, Los Lotharios, Imperium. I mean, honestly, even Imperium, Gunther's cool, but Gunther is not part of that Imperium tag team. It's going to be Giovanni Vinci and his name Ludwig Klein, isn't it? No, it's just not the top of the card, is it? Right now, Sammy could comfortably have a match with Roman, and I think he will. And I think the fans will be right behind him. And if you put that belt on Sammy, you ain't going to get many complaints. At all. There'll be always someone that complains, but you ain't going to get many complaints. Just think, like, the tag belt. Nice WrestleMania moment, but it will definitely leave me wanting more for him. So, yeah, it's tricky. It's tricky. I mean, your idea of, like, do we put the belt on him, he loses it to Finn, then Finn loses it to Cody. You can do that. I can see, like, the only thing is you might weaken Roman before WrestleMania. What does Roman do at WrestleMania if he's not involved in the title match? So those questions would need to be answered. Equally, if the fans feel like Sammy has been cheated, could it be that they hijack WrestleMania chanting Sammy's name during that title match, which you really wouldn't want because that should be Cody's moment. So, but you're going to run that risk anyway, in all fairness. You know, if Sammy continues to keep getting over more and more and more, you know, there will be a section of fans that could start chanting his name. I know it's tricky. It's really tricky. It's tricky, but in a very interesting way. Because you've got these two legitimate baby faces that are red hot right now that could go after that title. It's hard to play it out, isn't it? Exposing said, look, everyone is wrong. Everyone is wrong. Scripps should be the one to end Roman's reign. That's what we need. Someone said earlier, didn't they, about Scripps has got a new entrance or something, and it looks pretty good. Don't know. I haven't seen that, but I will check it out if they've upgraded his entrance. I mean, I feel like he does need a bit of an upgrade, Scripps, to be honest. with what he's wearing and his mannerisms and just pretty much everything about him. Quite telling that we just haven't been seeing much of him, I think. Like, I think even they know that it didn't quite go to plan. The fact that we just don't see much of him. And he's not on this card this weekend, for example. Scripts is trash, says James. When Vince returns, everything will be saved, said Chill Dudes. I don't want Sammy winning the Universal. I want 1,000 days or more, said Nelson. Yeah, you could still do that. As we said, if he wins the title, if you have this period for Cody, and then say we build towards SummerSlam, and then that's when we go for the Universal, because you could have Cody just win the WWE. I really don't mind that. I don't mind Cody only winning the WWE. We spoke about it on, I think it was Monday. He only needs the WWE. That's the one his dad's had in his hands. Cody didn't grow up dreaming of being Universal Champion. That belt's only been around since 2016. So that Universal Championship, it means, I can't say it means nothing. It clearly doesn't mean nothing. It clearly means something. But that Universal Championship is not the one that Cody has dreamed of having. So he only needs the WWE, which if you give him that, saving the Universal, keeping the Universal on Roman, and then maybe Sammy gets that one at SummerSlam, that might be a nice way of doing it. Here's Tyler Bates. I know we've not spoke about NXT for a hot minute, but to be honest, there's been a lot of video packages, so we haven't missed anything. Big strong boy Tyler Bate making his way out. Tyler Bate coming down to the ring. People that worry about Vince coming back, it's crazy. It's not going to matter if he comes back. Lass could take that spot at Mania. Both of us guys need to point at the sign. The car attack, Lyon's disrespect, and it's Dominic who survives his father's last laugh. What do you think of the picture I sent you on Twitter? I don't know if I've seen it. What was it of, Alex? What was it of? Wrestle with Andy said, what if Roman holds it till Mania 40 and faces The Rock? I think that would be a real shame because, I mean, I'm all for Roman having a long title reign, and I am shocked that it's been as long as what it has. I love that it's been as long as what it has. No complaints from me. But I think we're at the point now where I feel like throughout his title reign, we've been saying, is this the right person? Is Drew... I really felt Drew had a good chance at Clash at the Castle. Is Drew the right person at Clash at the Castle? Is that where it should end? Is Kevin the right person? Is Big E the right person? Like, for a long time, it's like, is this the right person? Is that the right person? I don't think there's any doubt in anyone's minds that either Cody or Sammy is the right person. One of these is the person. And it's probably Cody. But yeah, I think for the first time, I would actually be disappointed if Roman didn't drop the title to one of these. If he just kept going after all of this, like gets past Sammy at Elimination Chamber, gets past Cody at WrestleMania, and makes it all the way to next year's WrestleMania, I think I'd actually be disappointed. I think I'd be disappointed. I mean, obviously, the story has been amazing up to this point, but I think that it's going to be really hard to keep this going much longer. Because I think a large part of what made this story so engaging recently has been Sammy. And Sammy is out now. You know, and so I think it's going to be harder than ever to make the bloodline engaging. Could you bring in Naomi and freshen it up that way? Well, maybe. Maybe you could, yes. But I feel the comedy that Sammy brought in was so refreshing. You know, Usi and Jey Uso almost corpsing. And not only that, but like the fact he hated him and then he won him over. Yeah, I think there's been a lot to get our teeth into, and a lot has gone now. A lot has changed now. So it's going to be hard. It's going to be really hard to continue to move forward with Roman to the point where I just can't see how we're going to do it. Just can't see how we would do it. I think he's got to lose the title to Cody at WrestleMania, which is probably one of the most predictable. I've got to say, I actually think it will be a bigger shock if Cody doesn't win at WrestleMania. I mean, I don't even think that's that bold of a statement. I think everyone is expecting Cody to do it at WrestleMania. If he doesn't do it, I think that'll be a big, big surprise. If Roman holds it to 40, I think Bray would take it then, but I still think Jay has to do it. Roman Jay is not WrestleMania worthy, said Austin. Think about it. Once we get to Mania, we're close to a WWE sale. I told you the Euroshop sponsor would come back. I'm glad they hit you up, said Retribution. It's a different one, actually, you know, buds. Different one. So there's a guy in the UK who works at WWE that knows the channel. He's the same guy that hit me up in the past with stuff. This is different. This is actually Fanatics, which is why the link takes you to WWE Shop. This isn't just Euroshop. This is WWE Shop. In fact, I don't even know if the link works for Euroshop, to be honest. That's something I should have looked at. But I mean, you were right. You know, they still some form of WWE Shop got back in touch, which was so kind. And what I really love about this one, as I said, is that if you do buy anything anyway, there's no extra charge or anything like this. It's just if you've got a plan of buying a shirt or something from WWE Shop, if you just go through the link in the description first, no extra charge to you, and a small percentage comes back to the channel. So you're actually not only getting your item, but you're also supporting the channel at the same time, which, I mean, that's the people that lose out are WWE, because that means a small percentage of the money they would have made comes back to the channel. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's just, I understand it. Like, if I wanted to buy something from WWE Shop, would I think to come to this channel first to click on the link? I wouldn't. I'd just go in the URL and type it in, wouldn't I? Why would I think to go all through that? I might not even think at the time. So I understand that it's a bit out the way. So I suppose in a way I need to make it a bit easier for people. But whatever. You know what I mean? It's awesome. It's just awesome that WWE have done that for us. So yeah, Retribution, you was right. Ace WWE, shout out to you. We are at commercial break, by the way. We are into the final hour as well, and we have continued to have just bits of lag. I mean, it comes and goes, but it's been really bad tonight, in all fairness. I mean, it's just been there, coming and going all throughout the stream. I think it's probably going to be that way for the next 50-odd minutes as well. Hopefully, it's just like a temporary thing. And obviously, we've not been experiencing these issues normally. But yeah, frustrating, to say the least. Ace WWE said, do you think MJF will go to WWE in 2024? No. I don't, actually. I think if MJF has been saying things in interviews and saying things on TV about wanting to go to WWE, and the end result is that in 2024 he actually does, I think that all those interviews and all the way that he acted on AEW TV and all of that kind of stuff, I think that is so unprofessional. Like, that is just biting the hand that feeds you. I mean, MJF was just on the Indies before AEW came. I think he was in MLW or whatever, which is basically the Indies. I mean, I don't even know how many viewers they're getting. Probably more than the Indies, in truth. But you get my point, right? He was just nowhere near. He was not getting onto, like, the exposure he was getting now. And, you know, you can make the argument, yeah, but he would have got there one day. Well, yeah, that's fine. But this is still, you know, the opportunity he's been given is with AEW. This is the platform he's been given. He's making money hand over fist. Even if he wants to make more, he's still been making money, plenty of money. You know, he's got figures. They're going to be getting a percentage of that. He's going to be in the video game. He's going to be getting some money from that. You know, he's been on TV. I'm sure he's been, getting picking up little bonuses and whatever. It's just, money he's been making has been, beyond his wildest dreams. But so if all the noise he's been making about going to WWE turns out in 2024 he actually does, I just think that is so unprofessional. I just think that is so unprofessional. I just think that, this is Tony Khan is paying your wages and everything. And to be honest, I think the reason why he's been making these noises isn't to start a bidding war like he's claiming. It's because he's a heel. And what's the one thing that AEW fans would not want to hear one of their superstars saying? The one thing they would not want to hear an AEW wrestler saying is that they want to go to WWE. That is the number one thing that AEW fans, hardcore AEW fans, would not want to hear. If you want instant heat, if you want nuclear heat, then I've got to think that being a heel, saying that you want to go to WWE, that is how you will get fans' attention, and that is how you're going to get mad heat. So for that reason, I don't think he is serious when he talks about WWE in a bidding war and all this kind of stuff. I think that it's just a way of getting heat personally. Now, what happens in 2024 is still going to be very interesting because WWE absolutely could come in and say they're interested and offer some money. I don't know what Tony's going to do at that point because Tony could find himself in a bit of a bidding war. But I think eventually Tony will keep MJF. I think MJF is very important to AEW. And I think Tony can easily, as he said before, I've got more money than what they've got. I can dip into my funds and pay, what I need to pay. WWE could be cheeky, though, come in with a high offer, knowing that Tony is going to have to exceed it. Tony could call their bluff, though, and say, well, do you know what? If you're willing to pay that, you pay that, because I ain't going that level. And then WWE have spent a load of money. To be honest, I mean, who knows? Because who knows if Vince is even in charge in 2024? Who knows if the company might have been sold? And then there's going to be a whole different strategy at play, isn't there? So it's going to be very interesting. But my gut feeling is that a lot of these comments, if not all of these comments, have come from him wanting to get heel heat. And I don't care if people go, yeah, but he said in this interview, he said in that interview. Yeah, of course he did. Because this is where people get their wrestling information from, is from this interview and that interview. So that's my personal opinion on it. Right, we are back from a commercial break, and Tyler Bate almost getting a 3 count there on Axiom. WWE have released Miguel. Who's Miguel? Daze needs Beyblades to sponsor him. Right, we're over against the ropes goes Tyler. Big clothesline. Down goes Axiom. And double underhooks to Axiom over the top. Big back body drop, but lovely. Just managing to get his shoulders up. Both of these guys bridging at the moment. Axiom powering Tyler Bates down. Bate powers up. Double underhook. Picks up Axiom. He's got Axiom up. Over goes Bate. 1, 2. Kick out by Bate. Nice reversal. Going for a Tyler driver, is it? Oh, lovely. 1, 2, 3. Tyler Bate picks up the win over Axiom in a fun little match, actually. Not a bad little match. Tyler Bate getting the job done. I'm really excited about Tyler Bate. Got a decent size to him. He's not the biggest of guys, but there's a decent size to him. Been in wrestling quite a long time now, of course. Bop and Bang replay. Loved him when he was in, if you think 2017 was when he won that United Kingdom tournament. I mean, we're going back nearly 6 years ago. Crazy. A lifetime. Bait wins. Retribution, okay, if you missed it so far. It's an amazing. Can I say this match has been really good? Been good. Tyler Bates applauding Axiom, and he goes to shake his hand. Axiom shakes Bates' hands, saying, thank you and everything. Oh, from behind, there's Damon Kemp. Damon Kemp attacking from behind, grabs Axiom. Oh, backbreaker. Backbreaker. Bate goes to the outsides. Bate coming back in. Kemp jumps out the ring as Kemp runs away. Bate chasing him off. I did wonder if Axiom was going to turn heel then, to be honest. Did wonder if he might turn heel. They were shaking hands, and I thought, he might just turn on him. But then Damon Kemp attacked. Should they have waited for Sammy to turn? Should they have waited for Sammy to turn? What do you mean? Or just attacked him before? What do you mean? Should Bloodline have attacked Sammy before he hit Roman with the chair? To be honest, I think either way would have worked, but it's very hard to look at that moment and criticize it. Like, for me, it's amazing. It's an amazing moment. I think Sammy is being backed into a corner. He's being told to do, one of the only things he just can't. And that is finish off Kevin Owens, like put him down for good. And he just can't do that. He's grown up with him. He knows his family. He knows his kids. Got that chair. There's no way he can do that to Kevin. So, what you could say is, should he have maybe just thrown the chair away and said, I can't do it, and then them attack him? But the thing is, I think him hitting Roman is such a, that pop. If he had just thrown the chair away and said, I can't do it, and then got jumped by Solo and whatever, it would have been an amazing moment, of course. But I think the chair shot and the pop that followed was just, it was like this release from the crowd, wasn't it? It was like, it's happening. We're watching it. It's happening. Like, it's happening in front of our eyes. Like, this is a moment. And I think, like, if he had thrown the chair away, obviously the pop wouldn't have been as big. And then they would have jumped on him. And then, like, he would have gone into the beatdown. I think the chair shot is a really lovely release. It's this really beautiful moment where he hits Roman with the chair, and then he turns to Jay, and then we get the apology to Jay. Jay screaming at him, and he's like, I'm sorry. He knows he's a dead man. He's putting up it's not like he hits Roman and then starts throwing hands. He hits Roman knowing I'm outnumbered. I'm going down here. But before I go down, I've got to speak to Jay. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There's so much about it that's brilliant. Could you have gone a different way? Sure. But I thought what they did was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant. I do agree with the criticism that maybe we should have had some people come down to try and stop it. I wouldn't have had them get in the ring, but I think that I would have had Adam Pearce at least come down the entranceway. I like the idea of Adam Pearce and some officials coming down and just like trying to get in the ring, and Solo just looking at them, just standing there, like, gesturing, and they're like, okay, right. Like, so they're trying to get in to get to Kevin, but how are we going to get past Solo and Usos? And we've seen many times that security are just no match for wrestlers. They just get destroyed. So, unless you've got like an army of officials that you can flood the ring with, I think it is believable that they're not going to be able to do much. But I think I would have liked, rather than us having to just presume that that's what they're thinking, like, what are we going to do? We can't stop this. What are we going to do? I think I'd rather have seen them come down and at least try, Adam Pearce at least come down and, do something. Outside of that, I think that's the only thing I could criticize. Outside of that, I don't think there's anything else I can say that I particularly would have changed. I thought it was just, I've watched it Probably watched it about 10 times on repeat. Not in a row, like just watched it. And then, I mean, I did a video review on it, so I had to watch it for that again. I watched it live. I had to do the review on it. I had to watch it a few times for that. And then I just found myself going back to it just out of wanting to watch it. Just like out of, there's certain moments that you want, like maybe when Brock came back, you know, Cena in the ring after WrestleMania, and the crowd know that Brock's coming and Brock's music hits. That's such a great moment. Dolph's cash in. I love that moment. Sting's debut. I always go back to Sting's debut. I absolutely love that moment as well. So there's certain like little moments throughout wrestling history where you get those pops, you get those moments, the goosebumps and everything. Like, for me, that's up there now. That's up there now. You see, I don't think it's the same level as the Shield breaking up. I don't think it's that level. I think it is a level below, but the pop is bigger because when the Shield broke up, they broke up in an arena. This was done inside a stadium. There's at least double, if not more, the amount of people in this stadium for this moment with Sammy than there was for when the Shield broke up. So the pop is huge for the Sammy moment. So for me, I don't think it's quite the same as the Shield moment. I still think that's, you know, if you used to do a rundown of biggest turns or whatever, I feel the Shield moment would beat it still. But I think it's in the conversation. If we were to do a stream right now of like the biggest turns in wrestling history or the biggest like moments, the individual moments, it's getting mentioned. I'm mentioning the Sammy moment from Royal Rumble, the Sher. When I did my review, I said historic. I really meant it. I really meant it. Yeah. It just kept delivering, didn't it? Even the trial of Sammy, when we finished watching that, we were like, it's one of the best segments I've ever seen. That trial of Sammy, that moment where Solo almost went for him and got stopped by Jay. That's amazing. The honorary shirt moment. That's amazing. This story has provided such amazing moments. It's been brilliant. Someone on Twitter said the Bloodline segment ended flat. I saw that. Someone criticized the Rumble, which I've got no problems with anyone doing, of course. But I did see that the tweet where they were like, there was no surprises. You know, the pitch black match was rubbish. Bianca Alexa was rubbish. Main event was rubbish. Sammy split from the Bloodline and there was no reaction. And like all the comments were like, what? I mean, all you do when you send a tweet like that is you just show your true colors. That's all you're doing. You're just I don't know, you're a hardcore AEW fan or something like this. I mean, it's quite clear that you're not on side with WWE because I mean, that's just not true. Is it? It's as simple as that. It's just not true. It's one of the biggest pops in like ever. I mean, that like the shock, the noise, I don't know if there's a way of measuring the size of pop. You'd probably have to be in the stadium with one of those devices to measure the decibels. But to say there was no reaction, is just not true. Right, we've had more video packages. This is a go home. Right now, though, we've got Gigi and JC, and we've got Roxanne Perez. So we've got these girls. So Roxanne, just talking about what happened last week. Of course, she was attacked. They tried to convince her that there was drama and problems within Toxic Attraction, and obviously they lied to her. Just taking a bit of a mick out of her at the moment. Cody gimmick is getting old fast. It's same old stuff over and over. Doing it for my father and then fake crying, says Depp. Well, I don't think it's getting old because he ain't been around. So, like, we ain't seen him since Hell in a Cell. Those emotions are real as well. I don't have any doubt that when he talks about his dad, he gets choked up. It's quite an emotional little thing. So I think when he is talking about his father, or when anyone's talking about his father, I think he can't help but get a bit of the odd lump in the throat. So I actually don't think that's fake crying. I actually don't think that's fake emotion. I think that's legit. And I think that really is what he's doing it for. So I could understand someone not caring, to be honest. I could understand people like, I'm not bothered. I don't care if you want to do it for your dad. You don't want to do it for your dad. I'm not bothered. I could understand that. But I can't say it's getting old because he ain't been around. We haven't seen him since last year's Hell in a Cell. Hawkins said, we've not seen Vincent and Dutch since they were sat in the crowds. My man Islam versus Volk for the lightweight championship plus pound for pound #1 spot. It's going to be amazing. Talkie Toaster said the Alexa match was trash. Yeah, well, very good. Pitch Black match was a flop. Talkie, why do you think it flopped? Why for you? I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just an interesting conversation because I have heard a fair few people saying this, that the Pitch Black match just didn't do it for them. I just wonder why. Roman winning despite being visually pinned has happened too many times. Main event angle was perfect, though. Hear me out. Roman loses his belt by something supernatural random. Now, just like Roxanne Perez, I'm out, baby. Right, she's walked off. That means that Toxic Attraction are left talking to a camera. I love Fanatics. They own WWE Shop and Euroshop, and they do kit retailers for soccer, basketball, and baseball. They're a multinational company. Oh, very nice. Well, I'm a big fan of theirs as well, after they kindly supported the channel. So, yeah, very cool. I don't think I've ever bought anything from them. I mean, well, maybe I have, because I have bought things from WWE Shop and Euroshop. But I don't know how long they've been with Fanatics, to be honest. So I might not have bought some when they were with Fanatics. I don't know. Either way, they've been pretty good to me so far, so I like them. If Roman Cody is for both belts, I kind of hope Roman wins. Here's Roxanne. She's found Toxic Attraction and beating them up, smashing them around, making them humble. Wrecking backstage set, getting trashed. Robbie Brookside is in. Only Lorcan is in. There's Norman Smiley as well. Got a few legends in there. We got Danny Palmer. If Roman Cody is for both belts, I kind of hope Roman wins. I want Roman to get to 1,000 days. More importantly, I think Jay is the guy to take the title. Maybe SummerSlam. Oh, Steve is here. Go on, Stevie. Yes. Guys, our fellow streamer is here. Follow Stevie Turner at Stevie Turner WWE. Follow her socials. Stevie making her way out. Here are some messages on screen for Stevie. Going over to the one side, climbing up on the other. It's that way. Fun mute, please. No bad words in the chat. Yay, Stevie. Love it. She can do whatever she wants. Come to Japan, said someone. Little bit confused by her entrance gear. I feel like her coat and glasses make her seem like she's stepping out of some sort of sci-fi thing. I don't know. She's coming out with like these like little thin glasses and a jacket. Looks like she should be stepping into the Matrix or something. Over goes Danny. Go on, Stevie. Do it for all the YouTubers, Stevie. Lovely backflip, working on the arm. Chop coming in by Stevie. Stevie having a words. Going round the... Having a little words. Going round the back. Someone said subscribe to Wrestling Daze. I would have said that. Wonder if Stevie gets lag like I'm having lag tonight. I bet she doesn't. She's perfect, isn't she? Islam's only loss was years ago. It was a flash knockout. That's the only loss other than that he has dominated all his opponents and Volk has been unbeatable at featherweight. It's going to be an amazing match, yeah. Gail Kim had that entrance gear in 2002. Well, Stevie keeping up with the trend then. Boot coming into the midsection. Clubbing strikes to the back of Danny. Looking for a net breaker. Boop. Gets it. Smile on the face. Danny over in the corner. Stevie going over. Grabbing. Feel like we could do something with the ring gear as well. You know what I mean? If she's got something like that's computer, we could do like something with the ring gear that I think would be a little bit more streamery. I don't know what we could do. Maybe like a bit of static, or maybe stream starting soon, or like cursor keys, light buttons. You know, maybe we could do something. Feels like this is just really standard gear. Forearm strikes raining down. Smashing Stevie's head off the mat. Did you hear that Mayweather is going to fight this month? No, I didn't. No. Would look to do that. Even though his last one is the single worst show I have ever seen in my life. Nice work there by Stevie. Go on, Stevie! Planting Danny down. Grabbing a hold of the arm. Time for her finishing move, the logging off. Stream end. Ah! 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Stream over. Hand raised for Stevie. Stevie getting the dub. Doing it for all the YouTubers out there. All the streamers out there. Yeah! In many ways, it's a victory for us. Yay! Great work, Stevie. Worst ever show. What about Ric Flair's last match? Honestly, not even close. The Mayweather show was horrific. There is not a show anyone can tell me that will replace that last Mayweather one. It was so bad. There was an hour's wait between the co-main and the main. Tommy Fury came out and just looked like he was just, honestly, just going. It was an exhibition match he was in, but it looked like it was just a dance. Didn't even look like a fight. It was just like, I don't even know if they just moving around. Just they couldn't be bothered. They just weren't even fighting. And then on commentary, you had Jake Paul just absolutely trashing the event. Way worse. Way, way worse. Can't even remember Ric Flair's last match event, but I feel like the event was all right. I feel like the actual card wasn't bad at all. I mean, look, the Ric Flair match was not great, of course, but the Mayweather event was god awful. Dempsey in the ring. Dempsey in the ring. Super Chat Symphony. Oh, that's nice. Super Chat Symphony. Right, Dempsey. Old Dempsey Demps. Dempsey. Right. Here is Drew Gulak. Don't think this is going to take long. Gulak versus Dempsey. I remember the one in the Tokyo Dome took about 10 hours to start, said Retribution. Yeah. But Days having dinner, back driving. Hope you are good. Weapons of mass seduction. Shout out to you, my friend. Hope you are well. This is why Regal left AEW. Because there's someone in NXT ripping off his gimmick. Can you believe it? Look at this dude. He looks just like him. I'd be furious if I was William Regal as well. Like, who's this child ripping off my gimmick? I need to get back. There's gimmick infringement happening. I bet he was livid. No wonder he went racing back. We need a Hank Walker Ultimate figure. Get it done. Get it done. I just wish you worked for Mattel. Wrestle with Andy. That's all I wish. Kota Ibushi has left New Japan and he's going to be at GCW. Thoughts? Disappointed for him. GCW sucks. I don't know where he's going. I don't know if he'll land in AEW or if WWE will have him or something. I am more concerned about the lag. That has improved. That has improved it. That did improve it. Okay. Changed over routers and it has improved it. It's him linking up with Kenny would be amazing, said Talkie Toaster. Do you like WWE video games? I didn't play the last one. In fact, I haven't played any for a long time, so I'm going to say no. I probably might enjoy them. Probably, I don't know. Do you know what? I don't get a chance to play video games that much, so I just want something I can pick up and have fun with. And maybe you can do that with 2K stuff, I don't know. But I have never played a 2K game that I've really enjoyed, wrestling-wise. I think the last one that I really enjoyed was SmackDown versus Raw 2008. I bought it, and I bought the guides, and I just really put some time into it, and I just really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed like 2008, but I can't say I've put the same amount of time in any game since for WWE, so not the right person to ask. Are you enjoying the Steam Deck? I need to get one. The Steam Deck is good, but my problem is time again. My problem is time. So it is good, and it's really good as like an emulation machine. I would say it depends how much you play. If you play a lot, yes, it's worth getting. If you don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I feel like it's if you play a lot and you would get your money's worth out of it. If you don't play a lot, the cheaper one might be worth it, but not the expensive one. How much are Steam Decks? I think like they're about 300 for the cheaper one and about 500-600 for the more expensive one. And I got a Steam Deck and I do love it, but I can't say that I've got my money's worth out of it yet. But I mean, I'm never going to get a PS5. I'll never get like a PS6, or at least I don't think so. I just don't get a chance to play games. But if I did want to just play a little something, Steam Deck's going to box that off for me, you know. Who's going to win the Super Bowl? I don't know who's in the Super Bowl. The only thing I can tell you is all along I've said Chiefs. So, and I saw that they were in like the semi-finals. I don't know if they made it to the final. In my head they have. So I'm going to say the Chiefs. And I've said the Chiefs all along. Go back, check the previous streams, watch them. You'll see I've said the Chiefs. Have I missed anything important? Yes. But I'm not telling you what. You're missing out on gaming. You need a proper setup. I just ain't got time. I ain't got time. I'm either doing like research for videos or trying to work on a few like little videos that I can put out, which I never seem to get very far with, because as I'm doing that, then like some news will drop and I'll end up doing a news video. Or there'll need to be a little tweak to some graphics on streams, or just, making thumbnails, or doing research for the weekend, or there's just always stuff. It's just always stuff that's got to be done. So I'm just always doing that. I just never get a chance to sit down. I have not played. Remember at Christmas, people were like, "Oh, what are you going to do at Christmas?" I was like, "Well, I'm going to get this one-player board game. Quite fancy sitting down with some food, having this little board game in front of me, and just doing a little one-player board game. Quite fancy that. I've really got into like some board games last year. Opened up a whole new world for me because I've only ever really played Monopoly, and then I found out there's like this whole world of board games out there that I've never experienced. So I was like, "Oh, well, I'll get a little. Let's find what's the best one-player board game. I'll quite happily give that a little go. I ain't played it. I got it. I ain't played it." So, like, there's just, I don't know, I need to retire. I can't retire. I'd have enough money to see me through till about next Wednesday. But with all the stuff that I'd like to do, I need to retire. Do you think mid-range Steam Deck as when I'm thinking of getting that one, because it seems like the best value for money and memory? Well, it really, really depends on how much you're going to play it. I mean, what I would say is, I think that might hit a sweet spot. I think I don't feel like I am anywhere near to getting the money out of the one that I got, which was the more expensive one. And I did that in a panic because I knew that I had to get the pre-order in, and I had 3 options, and they weren't going to be arriving for 12 months. So, of course, when you sat there, you're like, well, just go for the expensive. By the time it comes out, I can save that money up. But the truth is, I just didn't need to spend that money, really. I could have easily got by with getting the cheaper one. But I'm guessing you play a lot more than me. So if you feel the next one up's going to be better for you, then go for it. Still a lot underway with this one between Dempsey and Gulak. Don't know what we've got left to go. We've still got the tag match. We've still got Bron Breakker, and we've still got the tag match. Come on, Chase, you. I forgot about that. So we probably aren't going to be sticking with this match too much longer. Hey, do you know what? Since I changed routers, no lag. I know. Chiefs against the Eagles. Come on. It's going to be the Chiefs. Chiefs win. There we go. The Cincinnati Chiefs against the Edmonton Eagles. It's going to be the Chiefs. If Daze called it quits tomorrow, we would be lost, said James. It ain't happening, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't even need to enter into your mind, mate. Right, we've got Dempsey down. He's in control. He's got a chicken wing applied. Very Bob Backlund. Chicken wing applied. We've got Hank Walker on the outside trying to offer some advice. Dempsey goes into Hank Walker. Hank Walker goes down. Got Dempsey rolled up. 1, 2, 3. And Dempsey was stunned after he collided with Hank. And Gulak has managed to get the roll-up win. Roll up. Oh, there's a bit of blood, though. He's got a bit of blood on his mouth. Bit of blood. Hank Walker with the assist. I'd love it if Gulak goes, that's how you do it. Was you watching? Did you take notes? That's how you get the win. Right, we've got Von Wagner in the locker room, pacing around. He's very unhappy. Not a happy boy, is he? Flipping over benches and chairs. If Daze quits YouTube, I am going to become a monk and celibate for the rest of my days. Kansas City, Missouri Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs all the way. Chiefs all the way. Have you got another router? Have you got 2? I've got 3 routers. So I've got the house router, which is cable, like proper broadband. But because we're in the countryside, It's rubbish. I mean, we might be able to stream on it, but it's like, it would be 1 pixel. Right? It would be rubbish. So it's like a real emergency. So to be honest, even with that, there'd probably be disruption. But we have streamed on it before, in all fairness. I didn't even think it was possible. Like, honestly, megabytes, it's about 2 megabyte uploads, which I didn't even think you could stream on a 2 to 3 megabyte upload speed. I didn't even think that'd be possible. But if you drop all the settings, you can squeak through, but we never touch it. So that's one. And then the 2 that I've got are the 2 that I pay for. My phone bill every month is £100 and something, £150, something like that, every single month, because I can't stream on the house broadband. I have to have 5G routers. So I've got these 2 boxes, not very big, so just little router things in the house upstairs that are 5G. So we are actually streaming like over a phone, basically. That when we stream over like a phone. 5G, 4G. That's what we stream on. And normally, I mean, it's pretty solid, isn't it? Normally, it's not bad. Don't normally get like loads of lag and loads of trouble. I haven't had any this year. Normally, all right. I mean, we do experience it from time to time, of course. But all things considered, the amount of streaming we do, I don't think it's too much of a problem. But tonight's been pretty rubbish. But what I did was I changed from the one router that we were on and just went to the other one. And it's held. So, lovely. Right, here are the Dyads. Made their way down to the ring. Dyads. They're going to be taking on Idris and Blades. They're going to be taking on Chase U. We're just seeing the chair shot heard around the world. Jimmy Uso with the super kick. Solo beating him down. Jimmy didn't wait, did he? You know, it's the Jimmy one's really interesting if you think about it, because for the longest time, Jimmy was the one that was like, remember, he had the hand signal, like the handshake, and like Jay was the one that was very standoffish. Jay was the one that was like just staring. But Jimmy was cool. Jimmy was on site. Jimmy did not hesitate to lay out Sammy. Didn't hesitate to lay him out. Yeah. I use my laptop. My internet is fast. All right, Hayden. Bragging away. Hope you well, buds. Let's go Eagles. They have to win. Not going to happen. Oh, I've said Chiefs all along, and now it turns out they've got there, so. Called it. Predicted it. It's meant to be. It's going to be the Chiefs. I mean, in all fairness, I think I did say the Chiefs last year as well, though. That didn't go as well. I am going to WWE in Belfast, said Carter. I can't wait, as I've not been to a show before COVID. In all fairness, they haven't come over that much, have they? They haven't really been over that often, WWE. So, yeah, have a great time. Oh my God, you're paying a connection fee for 3 different ISPs. That is mental. It is mental. It is mental. In all fairness, though, I need. I never needed you at all. I need that second one. We don't need the house one, in all fairness, but I think it kind of comes with the. It comes with the TV, and it's all a package. But the 2 that I use, I need a prime example there. We've just been lagging all throughout this stream. I've switched to the other one. It works. So I sort of need those 2 because sometimes it's really weird. I don't know. Sometimes one can be lagging. You switch to the other. It's absolutely fine. Sometimes both are a problem. But yeah, sometimes you can switch between them and just switch. I suppose in a way it's like turning something off, turning it on again. Like sometimes one of the routers can just get into a bit bogged down, get a bit, I don't know, lost or something. The other one might not have any issues. You switch to the other one, you're fine. So I need plan A, plan B. I just so happen to have a plan A, plan B, and a plan C, which is the house one as well. But we have had it where, it's just dead in the area. And then we just can't do anything. All the plans go out the window. But there's not much I could do about that. I could have 20 routers and I wouldn't be able to do anything then. Right. Let's go down. Here we go. AWC Legend said, have you thought of doing meet and greets in the future? No, I think it's because I hate people. So, no, to be honest. I did. I was very fortunate in I had a great relationship with Wrestling Shop. So they used to do Wrestling Shop live. I don't believe they've done any since, obviously not with COVID and everything. And they asked me to be a part of that. And oh God, it was so amazing. Like I met loads of great people at those shows and people in this community as well. Like Miss Clown came along, for example. And so I got pictures with people and had a good conversation with people. It's just a fantastic time. Absolutely brilliant. Easily the most rewarding like part of being like a streamer. So I really enjoyed it. To be truthful, I actually don't think that many people would turn up if I did one now, if I'm being completely truthful, which is weird because the channel is bigger than ever. Like there's more subscribers than ever. But man, those toy hunt videos when we were doing them, we're still doing them, but not as often now. But they were really like grabbing attention in a way that I think the streams, I don't know that they match that, to be honest. It's a lot easier to do the streams, of course, because you can do them every day. And you can't do a toy hunt every day. I just think we might have lost that community. I don't know. I think a lot of the people that join us on these streams are all around the world. You know what I mean? I think the people that join us for these are in America, they're in Canada, they're in India, they're in Australia, they're in the UK, they're everywhere. That makes it a bit harder when you're doing like a meet and greet. So, don't know. That is a bit of a barrier, to be honest. Maybe it's just one of those. If you book it, then people, they might come. They might arrive. They might come along. But I don't know. There's no plans at the moment. Let's put it that way. But we'll definitely do something in the future. Definitely do something. I just need to get popular first. Just bear with me. Bear with me whilst I try to get popular. And then we might look to do something. Weapon of Mass Seduction said, facts. Daze is going for the Chiefs. Here we go. Because I live 144 miles south of Kansas and Daze is a Williams stan. That's definitely a reason. And also, I just think they're going to win. Called it, you know. Right, we're underway with... is this elimination? Why is... oh, no, they're out there. Idris, I didn't see Idris and Malik Blade come out, but they came down. So, right, we are underway. This isn't the main event because I don't think we've seen Bron Breakker and Grayson Waller. So we've got this match. This match ain't going to get much time, is it? This match ain't going to get much time. This is Dyad versus Idris and Blade versus Chase U. You got our girl, Thea Hale out there. Thea Hale. I've been a Daze fan for 4 years, says Eric. Crazy. To be honest, I don't really believe you're a real person. I think you're probably a bot, but I really appreciate the support. Don't forget the overtime, said Sonny. This is the main event. We do still have Grayson and Bron. I mean, unless that really has passed me by, but I don't think it did. We have seen Bron. Have we? Is it just a little video thing? It was a video package. Oh, is that all it was? I thought they were going to be in the ring. Ah, well, that's disappointing. Okay. How about a live stream toy hunt at a car boots? I have been asked to do live streams during toy hunts. Honestly, I just think they're going to be a nightmare. Car boot would be easier, but that would be less exciting because you're not going to have much. I don't even know. Like, honestly, when you go, I went to a car boot about 3-4 years ago. There was not much wrestling stuff at all. At all. So I don't think you're going to find much of interest. And if you go to a shop, you've got like the music, you've got people that don't want to be filmed. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be really hard. So I don't know. Maybe you could go to a car boot, find some wrestling stuff, then do a stream and go, guys, here we are. Check out. This is what we found, blah, 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 and do something like that. But honestly, I would imagine the Wi-Fi is probably dead in a field. You know what I mean? I have no idea if the Wi-Fi would be any good at a car boot. Shoulder Up by Andre Chase. Wrestling Daze doesn't sound like much fun. Oh, God, no, it's boring. Horrific. But do you think Jay still loves Sammy? I think he's conflicted. I think he's really conflicted. I think he loves his family. I think he loves his brother. I think he's always known that Roman is something's not right. You know, we know that he tried to stand up to him and he kind of was made to fall in line. How much of him, I mean, he always did what he was told, but never really know what was going on inside his head. I think that he is conflicted. I think he is conflicted. I mean, I don't think this is a play. It might turn out that he joins back with the bloodline, but I don't think he has right now, just because they couldn't have known, right? Even though the world knew, in kayfabe, the bloodline couldn't have known that Sammy was going to turn on them, right? So I don't think there was the case of, okay, if he does turn, what we'll do is you walk off crying, right? Because what we'll do is this. I don't think that's been planned. I think the turn happened. I think it caught them by surprise. I think Jay reacted honestly. I think he's walked off. He's conflicted. He's in tears. I think all of that is like genuine from a kayfabe point of view. And I think it's going to be really interesting now to see where the story goes. We might find Jay go back to the bloodline, you know, and it might have happened now. Do you know what I mean? Jimmy might have had a word with him and brought him back on side now whilst we're watching this. I'm guessing those conversations are probably happening in the kayfabe story. But I think what we saw in that moment was Jay being conflicted, the character of Jay being conflicted. Very emotional. Didn't want to join in with the beatdown, did he? That means that he must feel something for Sammy. Shoulder Up by Andre Chase. Thea Hale having a mini heart attack on the outside of the ring. I've been a WWE fan my whole life, an AEW fan since the Sammy Cody cut her off the ladder. I've been a Daze fan for a few years, said WWE and AEW fan. Shout out to you. My brain ain't braining, said Sonny. My brain ain't braining. Right, we've got Andre Chase in the corner then. We got Thea Hale shouting at one of the members of the Dyad. I don't know what they're called anymore. It used to be James Drake. It's probably called Pippington. Down goes Pippington. Duke Hudson's tagged in. Come on, Chase you. Come on, Chase you. Ah, loving it. As Duke's unloading the shots. Thea on the outside. She's mimicking him. Big clothesline. Oh, lovely senton. Big clothesline in the corner. Over the top to the outside. Against the ropes. Big boot by Duke Hudson. Cleaning house. Absolutely cleaning house. Going after Pippington. Chucks him into the ring. Shoulder to the midsection. Great hot tag that was. Oh, that's nice. Straight over the top into a German too. Oh, kick out. Ah. Thea Hale. Thea for president sign. Duke over in the corner, stomping away, tuning up the band. Oh, tagged in. Over the top, crossbody. Wow. So Duke Hudson has been tagged out of this match. I love meth in school. Fun facts. Jesus, Austin. Didn't expect you to come in admitting to such a thing. I hope you're off it now, buds. Austin loved meth at school. I don't even think we can class that as a fun fact, can we? 1, 2. Oof. People making the save. Blade and Enofe almost getting the 1, 2, 3. Right now, we've got all 6 people down in the ring. We're carrying on. I knew Sonny was a mod when I joined. Drugs are bad, said Sonny. That's true, Sonny. Hopefully that's something Austin has learnt now. It might explain why he keeps disappearing off the streams, though. Perhaps he has, like, blackouts. No? Stay safe. I always knew Austin was a meth head, said James. Austin, you naughty boy. It's not cool. A lot of people say these sorts of things to try and seem, like, cool, get in with the big kids and whatever. Not impressive. They know to drugs, guys. They know to drugs. Don't be Austin. They know to drugs. Right, we've got Idris up top. Pip Pippington collides into the ropes. Forearm strike. Dear Hale on the outside. Trying to... come on, Chase U. I really want Chase U to do this. Don't want the Dyad there. Ugh. Suck. I don't mind Enofe and Blade. They're all right, but Chase U, I want Thea there. I want Thea to be at Vengeance Day. Here's Andre Chase. We got a big multi-person spot in the corner. Andre Chase power slamming down the Dyad. They suplex Idris Enofe. Andre Chase is getting fired up. Kicks coming in. Come on. This is a teachable moment right now. The Rock's daughter is on the... Thea! Deal with her, Thea! Go. Thea! Yes! She grabs the Rock's daughter! Thea Hale is dealing with Ava Raine. Yes! Over in the corner, Pip Pippington. In comes Duke Hudson. I think it's going to happen, you know. He's got him up. Don't know what that move is. It looks rubbish, but Duke Hudson gets the win. Chase U. Yay! Where's the confetti? Oh, we got no confetti. Didn't we have the confetti set up? What is this? Oh, look. Thea's running in circles. Ah, my God, the scenes. Amazing. Horrifically rubbish finishing move. But it doesn't matter. Yeah. Just go with it. I know it wasn't brilliant, but yay. Oh, hang on. It hasn't worked. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, why is it not playing again? What's going on? Yay. Chase you. She's still running. Right, we got Gallus shaking their heads. They're not impressed, but no one cares. Yay! Gallus, New Day, Pretty Deadly, and Chase U. Thea Hale is going to be there on Saturday. Oh, I bet the ticket sales have gone through the roof. I bet they've gone to the moon. I might go now. Yay! Why is it not play? What is up with this video? Yay! It's pretty rubbish, isn't it? I could have found a better... whole thing's a mess. Either way, though, we've got Duke Hudson, we've got Andre Chase, we've got Thea Hale in the ring celebrating away. So it's going to end with a lot of finger wagging. A lot of lot of gesticulating. Right. The voice of Shawn Michaels. NXT is back on the road. It's exciting. I don't know when the last time was. A long time ago. Roxanne. Gallus. Apollo. What do you score next? So, little advert right now for this weekend. There's Grayson. There's Bron. Card looks all right. How long have we got? It must be just mere moments. Mere moments. So it's a little video package that is on at the moment. Running through the card. Daze, you should create a Wrestling Daze Community Hall of Fame. Yeah, but no one would get in it. I could create it and put no one in it. You need pyro. We do need pyro. You're right. 8 out of 10 said Chrissy. Justin says 8. I think that's one of my favorite moves now. What, the pick him up, put him on his back, sort of throw them on top of you. Don't know what he did. Don't know what it was. James said no one would get in because we all suck. Yeah, me included. I'm putting me in this. We all suck, all of us. We could create a Wrestling Daze Hall of Fame and no one goes in. None of us go in. We're not good enough. Who's in the Hall of Fame? Literally no one. Ba 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 ba. This year's class. Ba 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 ba. Is no one. Yay! See you next year. See you next year. Ba 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 ba. Ah, that'd be good. Actually, we could all get dressed up. We could all get dressed up. We could plan a whole stream, do a whole evening, the class of 2023. Ba, 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 ba. Be done in 5 minutes. Lovely. Right, get in your thoughts. Get in your thoughts. What do you think of the show, guys? Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. What happened in NXT? No, not much, to be honest, because it was a go home. Chase, you have managed to get through, so good for them. This year's class, you get the music playing with Tumbleweed floating by. It would be like that such and such is All Elite, you know, with the black brickwork. It would be like that, only it would just be no one is All Elite. There'd be no one there. No one standing in front of the brickwork. No name. None of that. Oh, that'd be good. 6.5. It was okay, says Austin the Meth Head 316. Are you going to watch it? What, the Jake Paul thing? Yeah, I'll watch it. Sunny should be in the Community Hall of Fame. She doesn't. She's not earned it, mate. Hayden, I think it's lovely of you to make recommendations, but I can't stress this enough. Literally no one is good enough. Literally no one. Logan Paul's Big Brother fight was the best, said Jonathan. We're at 71 votes. I mean, I'm thinking, like, could we get to 100? But 28's a long way to go, in it, in all fairness. If you haven't voted, get your votes in and I probably won't wait that long. Probably won't wait that long. Might be here all night if we wait for it to get to 100. So instantly regretted saying that. Yeah, we had a lot of lag tonight. We even did a stream. We did a stream that had, for a few views and whatever on it, and that all crashed and everything. So it's been horrific. But I really appreciate people bearing with us. Also, we had a bit of fun as well during the stream. It was all right. I mean, the show was, do you know what I mean? It was go home. But we are doing Vengeance Day this Saturday. And we will have some fun with that. Obviously, we got AEW tomorrow, and of course, SmackDown on Friday. We have gone to 86 votes, guys. There might be a chance here, There might be a chance. If you haven't voted, vote. We will wait to see if we can do it. Whilst we're waiting to see if we can get to 100 votes, I'll answer this question. AWC Legend said, where did the sofa go? It's actually just in front of me. I haven't removed it from the room, but this is so much better. Oh, my God. So much better. I'll tell you that being able to turn and just walk off is life-changing. Before, I used to be, sat under the table. For me to get out, I used to have to, climb over the arm of the sofa. And just that was getting up and going and doing anything was just, now I can just, oh my God, it's so much better. And I'm a bit higher as well, which feels a bit more comfortable. And I've got this little cushion on my lower back. Oh, it's a real treat. So, but the sofa's just over there. It's pretty much knackered. If anything goes into the Wrestling Daze Hall of Fame, it's that sofa. That sofa will be the first inductee into the Wrestling Daze Hall of Fame. Ba, 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 ba. Well done, sofa. Well done. John said 631 Thea Hailstorms out of 10. 7 out of 10 said explosive werewolf. Just when you think werewolves can't get any more terrifying, an explosive one comes along. Horrific. The sofa and the mic replacements, yes. And lag. If anything's going into the Wrestling Daze Hall of Fame, it's the sofa, the mic replacement, it's the lag, Ghost Banana. These are the things that are going in. It ain't any of you. The beanie should go in. You're absolutely right. Scruffy, unkept beard should go in as well. That deserves to go in. The beanie should go in. Absolutely. Lag. I'll tell you what, lag not only goes in, it gets a statue. I think lag gets, I don't know how we're going to give lag a statue, but we're going to do it. Lag deserves a statue. Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons can go in for you. Wheel of Fun. Oh, that's for OGs, isn't it? Do you know Wheel of Fun we have not done since the year 2000? That's when they changed the rules on YouTube. And yeah, that's OG, that is. That is proper OG. We did it, guys. We got to 100. Look at us. Look at us. Well done, everyone. The Spife Jackson. Another OG right there. OGs are showing themselves in the chat right now. Respect. You get respect points for that. What do you score NXT? 45% said 8 to 10. Jeez. I didn't think anything really happened. 45% 8 to 10. 27% said 7 to 775. 21% said 6 to 675. And 5% said 575 or below. If you know, then you know. Well, there we go. I joined just as Wheel of Fun left. I'm the Wheel of Fun killer, said James. That's a good honor to have, James. It's a good honor to have. Right, my friends, we are done. It's been lagging quite horrifically throughout the stream, but we made it to the end. Really appreciate the support, of course, and people joining us. We are back tomorrow with AEW. Obviously, we got SmackDown on Friday. Of course, we've got NXT Vengeance Day this weekend. Plenty on the way as we start to move forward. Of course, the SmackDown stream, that's going to be massive. We might even start a little early. But, yeah, done. Appreciate the support. All eyes now for this weekend. And thankfully, our girl Thea Hale is going to be there. Awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.